everyone, welcome to Rise Infotech. Today in this session, we are conducting mock interview for Vinay. So let's start now. Hi Vinay, how are you?
Yeah, hi Kumar. I am fine. How are you?
Yes, I'm good, thank you. Vinay, please introduce yourself.
Yeah, hi Kumar. Thank you for giving opportunity to tell me about myself. So I'm basically belongs to Karnataka, born and brought up in Bangalore, and I have total 4 years of experience in SAP MM, and I have involved in the implementation, support, and testing project. That's all about my professional experience.
Okay, very good. So can you please explain the SAP MM enterprise structure with T codes and tables?
Okay, enterprise structure is a structure that represents the whole enterprise system. So basically, it is subdivided into various organization units for the legal business or business related reasons. So it is subdivided into four modules. It consists of like plant, store location, purchase organization, purchase group. Let me explain in detail. So plant is an operating area in the organization unit, and it's also called as a manufacturing unit. It will be created by T code OX10, and the table belongs to plant is T001W. Storage location is a physical location where you can store the physical materials, like materials like semi-finished products, raw materials, and finished products. So it is assigned to the plant. So we can create storage location with OX09 and table is T001L. Let me come to the purchase organization. Purchase organization is the organization unit where it is responsible for all the purchasing activities. So it is created with the T code OX08 and the table belongs to purchase organization is T024E. Purchase group where the group of people will be working for the purchase organization. So that is called purchase group. It is created with the T code OME4 and table is T024.
Very good. We'll move on to next question. And please, you can talk a bit louder. Please explain the all the master data in SAP MM.
Okay. So in master data, we'll be having like material master data, vendor master data, purchase info record, source list, and quota arrangement. So let's go one by one. Material master data, it contains a complete material information which company procures and produces. So we need like prerequisite for material master data, industry sector, material type, and number range. We can create industry sector with the T code OBD3, sorry, OMS3, and we can create a material type with the OMS2, and we can create a number range with the MMNR. So in industry sector, it controls the screen sequence and field selection. In material type, we will be having different kinds of material types like finished products, semi-finished products, and raw materials. In the number ranges, we'll be defining internal number range and external number range. Internal number range, we can it will take automatically the numbers in the defined number range. External number range, we can give specific numbers to that material which in the defined number range. So let's go to the vendor master data. Vendor master data is it is related to vendor specific data. It includes complete vendor information where the material will be procured. And a prerequisite required for the vendor master data like company code, purchase organization, vendor account group, and number range. So vendor account group we can create with a T code OBD3, and purchase organization we can create with a OX08 and number range with the MMNR, sorry, XKNR for the vendor. In ECC, we'll be creating with the XK01T codes, vendor creations. In like S4HANA, we'll be creating with the BP. Let's come to the purchase info record. Purchase info record, it is like consist of vendor and material combination data with the price and tax informations. So prerequisite required for the purchase info record, material, vendor, and purchase and plant. We can create with the T code M11 and table records of the PIR like EINA and EINE. EINA for purchase info record general data, and it is related to the purchase info record for the original data. Source list consists of a possible source of supply for the given framework of time. We can create source list with ME01 T code, and table for the source list is UORD general data for source list. Quota arrangement, it divides the requirement of material among the certain sources of supply. So you can create a quota arrangement with the MEQ and T code, and table for quota arrangement is EQ, UK, and EQUP. It is like header and item data details.
Okay, very good. We have covered all the master data with T codes and tables as well. Very good. We'll move on to next question. So please explain the P2P cycle standard business process with all the T codes and cover. Go ahead.
Okay, so like P2P cycle is a procurement process. It is also called as a STP, like how to process. So here, like company purchases, receive goods, and pay for the goods and services taken by the vendor. So in like P2P cycle, we have 5 steps like purchase requisition, RF request for quotation, purchase order, goods receipt, and invoice receipt. Let's go by one. So in purchase requisition, it is an internal document where the list of goods and services are required will be mentioned and given to the purchase organization team. So we can create a purchase requisition with a T code ME51, 52 for edit, 53 for display. And tables required for the PR and EBAN and EBKN. EBAN for purchase requisition, EBKN for purchase requisition per account assignment. Here, request for quotation, it is external document. External document used by the purchase department to get the quotation from the vendor. We can create with the T code ME41, 42 for edit, ME43 for display, and table for the RFQ is EKKO, which is header data. Let's go to purchase order. It is external and legal document given to the vendor. It includes a list of the goods, material, and quantity. Other details belong to the material. So you can create with the T code ME21, 21N, ME22N for the edit, ME23N for the display. We can release PO or PR. Sorry, PO we can respect to ME29N. And table required for the purchase order is EKKO and EKPO. The next step is goods receipt. In goods receipt is a goods movement with which receipt of goods from the vendor, or else goods receipt is like we'll receive the goods from the vendor. In layman words, we can create a goods receipt with T code MI0 and table for the GR is like header data for MKFEF for the header data, MSCG for the item data. Next step is like invoice receipt, where invoice document that contains details regarding the supplier and the receipt, like price information, tax information, everything will be having. It is created with the MIROT code and MIR4 for the display, MIR5 for the list of invoice document. We can cancel the invoice with the MR8M T codes. And table for the invoice is like RBKP for the header data, RSCG for the item data. These are complete process of P2P.
Very good. Yeah. So now please explain the automatic PO creation.
Okay. So in the we'll be having like 6 steps in the automatic PO creations. Like we'll create a material master. In the purchasing view, we need to enable the automatic PO checkbox with the help of MM02 or MM01 T code. In vendor master purchasing view, in vendor master purchasing view, we need to enable the automatic PO checkbox. In HANA, we need to enable in a BP purchasing view. We need to create in third step, we need to create a purchase info record for the material master and the vendor master combination with the help of M11 T code, and maintain the fixed vendor in the source list with the help of ME01 T code. Then create the purchase requisition with the ME51N T code. Then create the automatic PO using T code ME59N.
Okay, very good. So explain the release strategy with respect to PR and PO purchasing documents.
Okay. So release strategy is the process for the approval for the purchasing document. So like while creating PO and PR, like we release strategy which consists of several steps. In edit characteristics will be chosen based on the release condition. For example, document type, purchase group, and plant vendor. In specifically for the PO creation, we'll be using table as a CEKKO. For the PR, we'll be using CEBAN, like EBAN. And field name with respect to document type is a BSART, and EKRG for purchase group. EKE, we need to select the field name according to the condition type. And like we'll be having specific scenario based on the business requirement. We need to configure release condition example. Then we'll go to additional edit class, where the here class is used to group together the characters defined. Next step is like release procedure for the purchase order, which consists of 4 steps: release group, release code, release indicator, and release strategy. Release group, we need to create the release group and assign it to the release class. In the release code, it will be having 2-digit code and assigned to the approve for the purchasing documents. And in release indicator, it indicates whether it is blocked or released. So that the configuration will be having. Also, we can have a percentage change allowed in the for the PO or PR. That is called a changeability indicator. That configuration also we can do. And the first step is release strategy. Here we'll be defining the multiple release strategy according to the business scenario. Again, it will be consist of first sub steps in the under release strategy. That is release prerequisites. It determines the order in which individual codes will release the purchase order, like who will be releasing first and who will be releasing last. Like it will be a hierarchy. And release status, it will show the status like purchase document, whether the like how it represents status of purchase document like after the start or release process. In the classification, we'll be defining the value of the characteristics like in the release strategy. And release examination, it will show like how exactly that release strategy works. So that will simulate the process happens. In the workflow, in this step, we'll be assigning the release codes to the SAP user ID for the approvers. That's all about release strategy.
Very good. Yeah, we'll move on to next question. So explain the pricing procedure.
Yeah, like it's the main concept of pricing procedure is like combination of different types of charges like gross price, freight, and discount on surcharges. So it will be having a few steps. Like steps in one of the pricing procedure, like define condition table. In the using M/03, like we'll be defining the condition fields from the field catalogs. The table condition table in the range of 501 to 999. It will be having different kind of condition field like purchase group, purchase organization plant, and net value. These are all the conditions. And next step is like access define access sequence using M/07. The main concept of access sequence is it searches the condition record for the condition type from the condition table. We need to assign condition table to the access sequence. Once access sequence maintained, it will be having one or multiple condition table. Next step is like condition type with using M/06. Condition type is used for different pricing elements like gross price, freight, and taxes. Here we'll be assigning it to access sequence in the condition type. Next step is like define calculation schema with the T code M/0308. Here we'll be maintaining the sequence of pricing calculation like gross price, discount, freight. We'll be assign condition type with the and will be calculation schema and condition type. Here it will be using standard pricing procedure for the purchase order is RM 0000, like 4 zeros. Then we'll be next step define schema group. Here we'll be defining the schema group for purchasing organization vendor. So then again we'll be assigning the purchase organization to the defined purchase organization, and vendor will be assigned to the in the XK02 or BP for the particular vendor. Next step is like maintain schema determination with the T code is OMFO. In this step, we'll be assigning the whatever the schema group we have defined for the purchase organization and vendor, that will be assigned to the calculation schema or pricing procedure. And the last step is like maintain condition record, which is with the T code MEK1. Here we'll be defining the like price detail for and values for the condition field, which we have chosen for the condition table. That's all about the pricing procedure.
Very good, excellent. Okay, this is very important question. Explain the consignment special procurement process with configurations.
Okay, like basically consignment process is like vendor provides some materials to the vendor. Sorry, basically the consignment process here vendor will provide the material to the buyer or the company premises. Here the company will store the vendor material in a specific location, and the material will be belongs to the vendor until unless he is using for the like production or inventory. So steps involved in the consignment process, like we'll be activating consignment info record with the OM T code, and we'll be creating consignment info record with M11 T code. If then the next process will be create consignment purchase order with the ME21 T1 and T code with the item category as a K. And here in this step, like condition invoice tab will be grayed out, and like it will be hidden. So here that's why like consignment PR is mandatory. Then the next step will be post goods receipt with using MIGOT code. Here we'll be taking the material with a 101K movement type. Here account entries will not be happening because the still material belongs to the vendor. Next process will be goods issue or transfer posting with the MIGOT code. Like whenever the like company wants to consume the consignment goods, then we need to post the goods issue with a 201K movement type for the production usage. In case we need to take for the company inventory, then it will be movement type with a 411K. Then the next step will be company consignment settlement. That will be with the T code MRKO. So like accounting entries, it will from the account for the consignment process like BSX and consignment KON. BSX is a debit and consignment is credit.
Okay, very
That's
good.
all.
Okay, we'll move on to next question. Okay, so this is also one of the very important question. So list out the few differences between SAP ECC and SAP S/4HANA system.
Okay. So like let me explain few differences between ECC and S4HANA. Like in S4HANA, like material ledger is compulsory, like mandatory. In ECC, it is not mandatory. We need to activate material ledger in the S4HANA, and we'll be having for vendor creation in ECC, we'll be having XK01 T codes, and in S4HANA, we'll be having BP code, which is like a single transaction code to define everything. And like in the material master view, we'll be using 14 characters for the material number range in the ECC. In S4HANA, we'll be using from 18 characters to 40 characters using OMSL T code. We can extend up to 40 characters of material length. And auto source list will be disabled in the S4HANA, so it will merge into the purchase info record. We can define auto source list in the PIR only. In ECC, we'll be defining separately in the source list using ME01 T code. Here we can define the PIR only. Let's come to the here we'll be having release strategy in the ECC, and in S4HANA we have both release strategy and the workflow. Like either you can maintain a classical release strategy or the workflow. Usually most companies will prefer workflow, which is very easy compared to the classic release strategy. And we'll be having output determination in ECC, and in S4HANA we'll be having BRF plus, Business Rule Framework plus. These are the few differences in the ECC and S4HANA.
Very good. Okay, this is one of the special procurement question. Explain the subcontracting process with accounting keys.
Okay. In the subcontracting process, like company provides components to the vendor to get the finished product. So, let me explain the steps involved in the subcontracting process. Like we will be creating purchase info record with the M11 T code. Then we'll be creating a subcontract PO with the ME21 T code, which is having item category as L. Then we'll be expanding the subcomponents in the material data tab using a like bomb creation, which is with the T code CS01N. Sorry, CS01. Then we'll be transfer the posting raw materials to the vendor either using a ME20 T code or MIZO with a movement type 541. Then we'll be receiving the goods with the we'll be receiving the finished goods with the MIZO T code, which will be done with a 101 movement type. And here whatever the components will be provided, that will be consumed automatically with a 543 movement type. In case if you want to receive any byproducts or byproduct receivable, it will be done with a 545 movement type. Then next step is the invoice receipt with the MIRA T code. Here like accounting entries will be hit in the subcounting process. BSX for stock account assembly, which is debit, and BSC is for a change in subcontracting stock, which is credit. Then WRX is a GRIR clearing account, which is credit, and FRL is a subcontracting charges with a debit. and BSX stock account of assembly components, which is credit, and GBB VBO consumption account for components, which is debit.
Okay, very good, excellent. Okay, so Vinay, we'll move on to next question. Explain the pipeline process.
Okay. So in pipeline process, the material directly flows directly into the production process. Few steps involved in the pipeline process is like we'll be creating material type with a pipeline as a pipe using a OMS2 T code, and we need to define like uh, quantity and the value in the OMS2 T code only, that it will be should be like unchecked, and the pipeline mandatory should be enabled. Then we'll be creating material with the MM01 T code. Uh, like in MRP2, we'll be assigning the procurement type as F, like for the external procurement, and special procurement as a pipeline. Then next step is like create a pipeline info record with the M11 T code. Here, price and tax code is mandatory. Then again, we will be using goods issue or transportation using MIZO T code, which will be having a moment type as a 201P.
Okay, very
Yeah.
good.
Then we'll be settling the pipeline settlement using a MRKO moment type. Here, accounting enters it in the pipeline process like consumption account, which is debit, payable for the pipeline settlement, which is credit. Payable for a pipeline is debit, and vendor account is a credit.
Okay, perfect. We'll move on to next question. Okay, this is like very important question. Explain the STO process. You can cover both intra STO and inter STO.
Okay. So, like inter STO, the material transfer between the plants in a different, which will happen at different company codes. In intra STO, the material transfer happen in the same company code. Let me explain the configuration of inter STO. We need to set up the stock transfer order. Here, it will be having few steps like define shipping data for plants. For the supplying plant, we'll be giving the ST details like sales distribution, sales organization details. Then for the receiving plant, we'll be giving the customer data, customer number, and we need to define, create a checking rule and define checking rule. Then we need to assign the delivery type and checking rule. Like delivery type for the inter-STO is NLCC, and whatever the checking rule we have created, that need to assign. Then we'll be having assigned document type, one-step procedure, and under tolerance. If you want to use one-step procedure, then enable the one-step procedure. If you want to use a two-step procedure, then uncheck it. For the document type, we can use a NB. Then we'll be having STO process like define shipping data for plants, like define shipping point determination, which is with the help of OVL2 T code. Then we'll be defining picking point determination with the OVL3 T code. Then we need to create a purchase order with the ME21 T code, which is having NB as a document type and details for the PO. And we'll be PO will be created for the receiving plant. Then the next process will be like outbound delivery with the reference with reference to PO, which is using a VL10D T code. Then we need to post a goods issue with respect to VL02N T code. The next step will be the goods receipt with respect to outbound delivery. Then the invoice receipt, which is the MIRO T code. Then billing will be created with the VF01 T code. The only few difference between the inter and intra STO, like in intra STO, like delivery type will be NL, and in intra STO it will be NLCC. And billing will be there in the billing will not be there in the intra STO, and billing will be there with the in intra STO. These are the few differences between inter and intra STO.
Okay, very good. And if possible, you can also cover the moment type difference. What will be the moment type you are using in the intra STO, and what is the moment type you are using in the inter STO?
While creating like goods issue with respect to intra STO, it will be with the 641 moment type, and goods received with the 101 moment type. In case of inter STO, we'll be using 643 moment type for the goods issue and goods receipt for the 101 moment type, which is with
Perfect.
respect.
Very good. Okay, next question. So this is like this question is very important for the SAP MM and FI integration. So explain the automatic account automation process.
Okay, like in automatic account determination, it will post the automatically the GL account for the particular material types. So steps involved in the automatic account determination, like we need to define a valuation control with OMWM T code. Here we'll be activating the valuation grouping T code. And next step is like group together valuation areas with a T code of OMWD. Here we will be grouping the valuation areas, which is considered as a plant and company codes, and chart of account as something called as a int. Then we will be forecasting T code with a valuation grouping T code. And then we'll be having the next step is like define valuation classes with the T code is OMSK. Here we'll be defining account category reference, valuation class, and material type. Here account category reference, which has a linkage between the valuation class and the material type. And valuation classes will be defining differently for the semi-finished products. It will be a few numbers, ROH and FERT, like finished products. Here we will be defining valuation classes numbers and material type for the different material types. So here is account category reference, which link between the valuation class and material type. Then we'll be creating the, we'll be posting automatic account determination with the OBIC T code. Here it will be like it will post the transaction keys and also define the here it will be defined. We'll be assigning valuation classes and the GL accounts.
Okay, done.
Yeah, done.
Very good. Okay, so Vinay, this question will be the last question of your mock. Explain the PO output determination process.
Okay, like output determination process, like we'll be defining for the output types, like such as the printouts, fax, and emails. Here in output determination steps, it will be containing few steps, like we need to define condition table. We'll be defining condition like purchase group and plant. Then we'll be defining the access sequence. Then we'll be creating a message type. Like we'll be copying the standard as a NU and we'll create the required message type. Then we'll be defining the message determination schema here, and I also will assign that schema to the purchase order. Then we'll be creating partner roles per message type, and we will be creating condition record with using MN04 T code for the defined condition table. Like after this configuration, we'll be creating PO using ME21 T code. Then we can display using ME2221 T code. Then we can see the output type in the messages. We can see the print preview, or we can see the like output types. That's all about the PO output determination. Kumar.
Okay, do you have any idea what is standard condition type we can use?
Standard condition type.
Yeah, for the PO output determination process. Condition type NEU.
Yeah, that is NEU standard condition. That is message type standard NEU.
Yes. Okay, very good. It was really good mock. So thank you, Vinay. Have a great day.
Thank you, Kumar. Thank you.